We did see Carlos Beltran on the Yes Network, an interview with, I believe this is Michael Kay of the Yes Network. And let's just listen to a really leading question that Michael Kay gives him right here. Again, this courtesy of the Yes Network.
Now, the commissioner supposedly sent out a directive in September to the teams, all right, this all has to stop. Mm-hmm. Did anybody from the front office ever tell you guys this has to stop? Mm-mm. And the front office knew what was going on?
Well, if they got the letter, they knew, but
Right.
they never shared it with us.
Right.
Nobody say anything to us, nobody say anything. I wish somebody would have said something. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people always ask me why you didn't stop it. And my answer is, I didn't stop it the same way no one stopped it.
Right.
Because it's working for us. Why are you going to stop something that is working for you?
Right.
So if the organization would have said something to us, we would have stopped it for sure.
Did you cooperate?
How many times did you hear Michael Kay say right over the course of that little back and forth between he and Carlos Beltran? You heard it a lot. And look, he's the voice of the Yankees. Are you expecting hard-hitting journalism from a guy that's going to be now an analyst for the Yankees on the Yes Network? No, you're not. But this is 100%, in my mind, a question that Carlos Beltran told Michael Kay to ask before the interview, and an interview that Michael Kay steered Carlos Beltran to the direction of, oh, okay, well, look, we didn't get this memo. The Astros management did. Astros ownership did. Now, but Beltran acting the way that he was, it's rich, not surprising, and that's what state-sponsored media is going to do. When they don't want to get anyone to, and when they don't want to basically allow for an answer that's going to make them look bad or make Carlos Beltran look like the bad guy that he was, at least for the Yankees. It's funny they're welcoming him in with open arms, seeing as they bitch and moan about 2017 all the time. But in this situation, I mean, he knew what he was doing. So I'm happy that the Astros actually have an ally here. Let's go to a station that I used to work for on the side in Boston, WEEI and the Greg Hill Show. Chris Sale, skinny Red Sox pitcher with no ass and no success to speak of against the Astros in the playoffs, had this to say about the Astros sign-stealing scandal.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion. If the Astros were the only team doing it, then yeah, give it back, take it back. I know for a fact they weren't. So, you all these people pointing fingers. Well, hey, take a check in the mirror real quick. Make sure that you and your team weren't doing something. And what they did was wrong. And I'm not trying to condone it, but, I mean, shoot, we're talking 5 years ago now, and we're still talking about this stuff. I'd like to kind of turn the page on it, but it happened. They dealt with it. There's nothing you can really do about it now, sitting here where we are. So you just kind of move on from it.
Okay. I think now that we all have to say that Chris Sale is a friend of Houston, because he has all the reason in the world to hate the Astros. But instead of bitching and moaning like the Yankees are still doing about 2017, he's moved on. And you know what helps moving on? Winning. Boston has been the Astros' biggest rival in the American League over the past 5 years. The Tampa Bay Rays you could put in that conversation too, since the Rays did beat the Astros, of course, in an American League Championship Series during the pandemic. But the Red Sox were the number one. The Astros have gone up against them now, 3 times in the playoffs? 2-1 against them overall, but 2 World Series split between the two of them. They're the main rival, and you don't hear any bitterness out of Chris Sale. What's the Yankees' excuse? Other than that, they've turned into the little brothers of the American League. Whiny, sad excuse makers that have no idea how to put accountability on themselves.